Hello everybody, it's Graham Coath with another My Music. Today we'll be talking all that jazz with Marina any minute now after we have this little video from Analog Trash. Please do enjoy it. Get yourself comfortable, get in the right mood, get your slippers on, and we'll be ready for you in 2 minutes. Marina, thanks for joining me today. Where are you coming from?
Just in Stockton.
Oh, wonderful Stockton.
That's right.
Is the weather as bad in Stockton as it is in Somerset?
I mean, I actually think blue skies are trying to come out of the grey.
Oh, that's quite nice.
Moment, so yeah.
The blue skies of Stockton.
That's it.
We could make a little tune, couldn't we? When did you first start making music yourself?
I've always wrote songs, but kind of like taking it seriously and starting like performing them and stuff probably about 7 years ago.
Right.
Yeah.
Wow.
I started in a groove pop band. So we got compared to like Amy Winehouse meets Red Hot Chili Peppers. So that was a lot of fun.
Amy Winehouse meets the Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Yeah, that's right.
I'm intrigued now. Is there any recordings from that band?
Yeah. So we released a debut album. The band were called the Lulas. The album was called Enjoy the Ride. So yeah, go check it out. It was lots of fun making that album.
I bet. Yeah, I bet. Well, who were you in the band?
Yeah, I was the lead singer.
You were the lead singer, right?
He did a lady, did all the high kicks and running about on the stage.
Yeah. So you were Amy.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. Fantastic. My goodness. Wow, that is something else. No, I will check that out absolutely afterwards as well. In terms of the music you make now, is this where you feel the most comfortable musically that you've ever been? Or
I think so. Yeah. I mean, I'm really, really hopeful. I've started working with some musicians that I can kind of make this music still like a full band, so I'll have a bit more freedom on stage, because at the moment it's obviously just me and the keyboard, which is lovely, but I would like to add like a little bit more energy to the set as well, and bring some slightly more upbeat songs into it, but yeah, no, definitely kind of like writing these songs, telling stories, and the kind of like honest, genuine side of songwriting is something that I'm really passionate about. Yeah,
there is the jazzy side to all of this. Where does that jazz influence come from in your life?
My sister, really. So I've got three older sisters. They're like 10 years older than me. And my sister Cherie, she was kind of like my singing teacher for many years, and she did a jazz degree in Leeds. So from a really young age, you know, she was teaching me all these like famous jazz standards, and you know, using the sevenths and using the ninths, and so my ears are really good at picking out all those notes and the improvisation side of it, and not limiting myself to everything always having to sound what's expected. That's something I really enjoy.
Well, what's nice is you've got like the pop element and the jazz element coming together really nicely on it, which is good. So you can kind of hear those both of those sensibilities. What was the first album that really kind of stood out for you that you'd heard?
I did a lot of Stevie Wonder stuff when I was young. So yeah, Songs in the Key of Life, that really opened my eyes to just the endlessness of music, basically, the endless possibilities, and the freedom that Stevie Wonder has with his voice. That really, really inspired me. So yeah, I'd probably have to go with that one.
Yeah, it's a really good time at the moment for anything with a jazz feel to it, I think. there's a lot of younger jazz artists coming through, you know, sort of like kind of pure jazz artists coming through at the moment, and that's kind of really kind of getting people back into the scene again as well.
Yeah.
Do you feel?
Definitely. I think it was like lockdown for me was when I started listening to like kind of what Spotify was suggesting for me. I was going on these walks and just kind of seeing what was coming on. And I think that's when I really found like the music that just kind of spoke to my soul, kind of like the blend of jazz and pop and soul and R&B, like that kind of stuff. And that's kind of really what kicked it all off, really. I was like, oh, there are artists that are releasing this stuff now.
Yeah.
And it's being well received, because if I'm enjoying it, there's other people out there that do. Because I was writing these songs, I just wasn't sharing them, basically. I was just writing them for me. And then when I started hearing stuff that kind of reminded me of stuff that I was writing or that kind of thing, I thought, you know what, maybe I should attempt an open mic and see what happens.
Absolutely. Which contemporary artist have you been most drawn to?
So in lockdown, I don't know if you've heard of her, she's called Leve. So I'm absolutely obsessed. So I went to go and watch her in Manchester a couple of years ago with my best friend, and I was just like absolutely taken aback. She's just breathtaking. So she was a massive influence to me, for sure.
Yeah. Would that be the dream support act to get?
Oh, I think so, yeah. That would be amazing.
Well, we'll tag her in, see if we can make that happen.
Yes, please.
Yeah, if you're listening, can we, get that to happen? That would be fantastic. Tell people what are the sort of things that you're writing about?
I like to write songs about things that are actually going on. So at the moment, I recently wrote a song called Girl Got You Feeling Good, and I got to perform that on the Globe stage in Stockton. So that was awesome for International Women's Day. And I wrote that about a late friend of mine who, when I was visiting, she just, no matter what she was going through, it was always, what's going on with you? And like, she was just the biggest like supporter and just positive person that I've ever met. So I wrote a song about her. I tend to write, I don't know, there's like a quote that always comes on when I'm flicking through Instagram reels that's like, you should be writing when you're angry, when you're sad, when you're tired. So that's just what I do now. Whenever I'm feeling anything, I just sit at the piano and kind of see what comes out, and some of it's rubbish and some of it's like, actually.
How often do you write then? How often does that, the opportunity come, or the inspiration come?
That's the hardest part of it, really, I think, because obviously I work and there's the day-to-day things that you have to get done. But I like to sit down at the piano, like at least 2 or 3 times a week. I know that doesn't sound like a lot, but just being realistic with everything that goes on. I like to be alone as well in the house. It's only me and my partner and the dog, and so that's normally fine. But I just feel like it's nice to just have like a safe place to just.
Who's the litmus test in the house? Is it the partner or is it the dog?
Oh, test in the house. Well, the dog is quite noisy. He actually likes to play the piano, so that's fun.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And when I'm doing like my vocal exercises and stuff, I do like lip rolls and things, and he's very intrigued about those. So probably more the dog. Yeah, my partner is more the one to go, Marina, it's been a while since you've sat at the piano, and I'm like, okay, I know.
Do you think, I can't actually say that I've heard a lot of songs about this, but given the fact that so many young musicians actually work as well, because you have to.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. I'd love to hear a song about sort of what people do at work as a song.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, my work is all very music related anyway. So I'm a singing teacher. So I don't really ever escape from music anywhere, which is sometimes a great thing, because sometimes I can be inspired and I'm constantly learning off my students as well. But sometimes, obviously, I'm sat at the piano all day accompanying my students. When I get home, it's kind of like,
yeah,
I kind of want quiet now.
Well, I was going to say, maybe you should write a song sort of about it, but you know, sometimes it being a bit of a busman's holiday sort of thing. You know,
no,
maybe,
definitely.
you know, it could be that. Actually, there's an interesting thing. Do you, as you've just said it, so I assume it's true, but people kind of assume that musicians always want sound on, if you know what I mean. Yeah, but how often do you just need that space so that you can actually, that's where the music needs to come in?
Yeah, I think, I get very used to having music, like noise, like, you know, we're all in the car or if you're on a walk or whatever it is, in the bath. But it probably, from time to time, I won't put the radio on and stuff. Normally as well, that's because I tend to sing along to the radio, and it's like, I've been singing all day. Like, I might have a gig tonight. I actually should probably, when I'm just on my own in the car, just maybe rest it. So that's sometimes the reason why I might avoid putting the radio on, because you just do it without realizing, don't you, singing along?
Well, it's interesting. I talked to Beth McCarthy about that when she came on, and she was saying that actually with her singing voice, she's fine in terms of being good with it, because she's sung for so many years. She knows how to control it. But she said her worst nightmare is talking too much. Do you find that as well? Because you get overly enthusiastic, or you tell somebody off or whatever, and then you ruin your voice for the gig that night because you've worn it out talking.
Yeah, I'm a right chatterbox. And something for me is like the pub culture as well. So if you're out and obviously like there's music on or everyone's talking really loud, you're kind of competing with it all, and then you get home and you might not even had a drink, and it's like, oh my gosh, like I feel like I've been singing for like 3 hours straight.
Do you know what? It used to be worse back in the day, though.
Really?
Yeah, seriously, back in the day, it used to be worse because people used to smoke in pubs.
Oh God, I can't imagine that. That makes me feel sick.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, I mean, I was a singer back in the day. We used to go and play pubs, etc., and we used to go out to pubs all the time and whatever. And then I discovered at one point from going to see a specialist that I was actually allergic to smoke.
Wow.
Absolute nightmare.
Well, I always feel like a real diva, but I say it about smoke machines as well, because you get to some venues and they're just pumping the stuff out in your face, and all it does is dry my vocal cords out, and I'm just like, well, no, I need water and I need to cough.
You got one of those machines?
Of course, I do a steamer.
Steamer, yeah.
Oh, that's my saving grace.
honey and lemon and a steamer. That's it. Vocalist's favourite friend.
Mm-hmm.
You've had a little bit of pickup as well from sort of BBC, etc. That's nice, isn't it? I mean,
I know. Yeah, I'm really, really grateful for that. They've just put me on to Soundwaves Festival in Hartlepool with the Kaiser Chiefs, so that's going to be awesome. And my last single got Track of the Week, which I did not expect, so I was literally screaming in my house.
Now, listen, knowing that you're playing with the Kaiser Chiefs, I was going to ask you about that.
Okay.
Are you going to learn a Kaiser Chiefs song to play in your style? Because that would be great, wouldn't it?
That would be really cool. Yeah, I mean, why not? I went to watch them a few years ago with my friend at it was one of the forests somewhere. It was probably 5 years ago now, thinking back. But they were awesome. My mum's really chuffed as well because she watches The Voice, so she's like, "Oh, Ricky."
Yeah, perhaps what you should do, pick actually, people, if you're watching, let's pick a Kaiser Chiefs song that you think would really suit Marina and her style and her voice, etc. Come back with some suggestions on that, and then maybe she can learn it and do it when she plays the gig. You see, yeah. or even if it's just a little snippet of it, and then segue into one of your songs. That would be marvelous. Mm-hmm. And they might hear it and go, "Come up and do it on stage later on."
Of course I will. Which way is the stage?
Come on, come back up. Yeah. Oh no, that would be great, wouldn't it? And that's going to be such a diverse audience as well, I guess, looking at the lineup of that gig as well.
I know, yeah. No, I'm really looking forward to it. I hope the weather's nice.
What's the big plan for you for the rest of 2024? What are the things that you've put down as kind of ambitions for this year?
I'd love to release an EP. I think that's something that I would love to do this year. And like I said, I really want to start gigging with a band. I think that'll really like open a lot of doors, and that'd be really exciting.
Have you got a band together? Have you got anyone into that band yet?
Yeah. I mean, we've only had a few rehearsals, so that's why I'm kind of like keeping it. I mean, I say I'm keeping it on the download. This is the first time I've mentioned it, to be honest, because I don't know when realistically it's gonna be ready. So we'll just have to wait and see. But yeah, we've done a few rehearsals. It sounds great, so that's why I'm like so excited. But I also don't want to put it out until it's like where I want it to be.
Yeah, no, I'm looking forward to that. I think that would be exciting. So you've got it all kind of coming in the right direction. What's the one thing that you find hardest about being a musician in 2024?
The funding everything. Because
give her the money. Come on.
But it's true, like everything costs money. So the rehearsal spaces, the recording, the promotion of stuff, you know, if you want to do a music video or do a whatever, you know, these people need paying as well because it's their job, like the creativity, the art side of it all. But yeah, it becomes difficult to justify sometimes with the cost of living, and to tell yourself, you know, it's not just a hobby, it is a career. But yeah, you're obviously putting a lot more into it in terms of finances than you're kind of getting back, until you do have like a bigger audience, fan base type thing. So
I guess though that's why I kind of started this. I think that's where maybe sort of like the collaborative space, and maybe somebody hearing something like you talking now and going, actually, do you know what? I'm really into what you're doing. I'll come and make a video for you because that helped my career. That's really where it needs to be at this kind of stage, isn't it?
Absolutely. And don't get me wrong, you know, I have been very lucky and I have had support and people approaching me for things like that, which has been amazing. But yeah, it's just kind of like you always need to do that little bit more every time to keep it progressing. So I'd probably say that's the hardest part, maybe just for me, because I'm not great at the whole budgeting thing.
Now tell me that in terms of the ages that you teach music to, what age groups are those?
So it's very large, to be honest. I teach adults as well, so right. Yeah, so probably from like 8 to adult.
8 to adult. So yeah, quite older children then.
Yeah, so more. I work in a secondary school, so it's more secondary school, sixth form.
Yeah. So what I want to know is, how do the school children react to Marina, their school teacher, doing her bit over here, and you know, getting on radio and that sort of thing? And will they all turn up for the Kaiser Chiefs, you know, to support with like t-shirts?
Yeah, so
wouldn't it be great if you got like a whole school to turn up in front of the stage?
That would be really cool. Yeah. I like to think that, you know, they think it's pretty cool that I do this stuff, and that, you know, they're singing teachers out there like getting these cool gigs, and I do tell them about the things that I do, and hope to inspire them as well. I used to work in a primary school as like the music teacher there, and the Lulas, we did a big gig in our local town. It was like a big festival, and we were on the main stage, and there was loads of my primary school there, and they had signs and everything, and you could just see how proud they were. Honestly, I actually got a bit emotional because I came off and they were just like screaming and like wanting autographs and stuff. Oh, it was just adorable. But that made me feel like, you know what, I definitely am inspiring them here, to, you know, if they want to do something, that they can do it. They really were like, I don't know, I felt like Jack.
Do you know what? I love the fact that not only are you making fantastic music yourself, but you're inspiring the next generation. Have you spotted, out of anybody that you teach, naming no names, of course,
yeah,
that would be unfair, but naming no names, have you spotted the next big star in amongst your pupils? Is there someone there?
sometimes I'm just like playing piano and there's someone singing behind me and I'm just like, you are incredible.
Yeah.
And I tell them like I'm everyone's biggest supporter. But yeah, no, for sure, there are definitely some of my students that without a doubt are going to go and do massive things.
Wow. You'll be on one of those programs in years to come. It's like, you know, Marina, she had a career herself, and then look at this superstar that she helped produce, and they'll be there, and you know what, you'll have that, you know, like when they used to do like This Is Your Life, and then you'll have that hug at the end, and they'll thank you for their whole career, and it'll be a teary moment. It'll be beautiful. That will.
Yeah. And what I try and do as well, I mean, obviously, I'm still in the early stages of my career doing all this. I'm just kind of like a year into it all. But with the Lulas as well, like there's bits and pieces that I've learned over the years. And I do really like to tell everyone as much as I can about this kind of stuff because, you know, they are writing their own original music, these students, and anything that I can do to help them, like not make the same mistakes I did on, you know, trusting the wrong people or, you know, putting time where it's not need, like in certain areas where you should be kind of focusing more on that area or whatever it is. Because I just think, yeah, if you can cut any corners where you can, you know, do it.
Oh, it's wonderful. Has music's clearly changed your life?
Oh, for sure.
Yeah. What is it that music's done for you?
I think it brings me a lot of peace. I think that's a massive factor of it. And I think for however long I can remember, basically, I've always felt a little bit different. And I mean, I definitely am. But, you know, like my brain works quite chaotically sometimes, and you know, sometimes I struggle to understand why things happen the way that they do. So it makes me feel a little bit less different when I can be myself and still make others happy, or others can relate to things that I'm saying. It makes me feel like I might not be able to do some things like other people, but I can do this and they enjoy that. I don't know if that makes sense.
Oh, it does. It totally does. Now, listen, we've got to that stage. It's been a fantastic conversation. It's been lovely to meet you today. You've got several tracks already out there on things like Spotify, etc. What You Deserve, Fall Like Me, I Will Be There. Which one would you like to add to the My Music podcast playlist so that we can share it amongst the people and then they can find it easily and get into you, etc.? Which one and for what reason?
Feel Like Me, please. That was my debut single because it's like my life story, basically. And it'll hopefully give you a bit of an insight of what this full band thing could look like at some point in the future.
Oh, there you go. Folks, we're going to add that any minute now to the My Music podcast playlist, which now stands at about an enormous 20 hours. You can just go on there. Yeah, I know. It's a track from everybody that I've interviewed over the last 3 years or so. So please do. I'm going to be adding a few this afternoon. I'm going to be adding something from Amelia Coburn, who's been on recently. Have you listened to Amelia?
Oh, she's a good friend of mine, Amelia.
Oh, is she now?
Yeah. So I supported her headline gig at the Arc just before Christmas.
Wow, two talents together. Any chance of a collaboration at some point musically?
Oh, I would absolutely love that. We haven't brought it up before, actually, because we did a duet at her headline gig. We did What Are You Doing New Year's Eve together. We did some harmonies and stuff, and it went down really, really well. So,
Amelia, if you're watching, you know.
I would love that. I say we. I'm going to speak for her.
You could just release that as a cheeky little side thing, couldn't you?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Next Christmas, yeah.
Next Christmas. Oh, my word. Well, I'll tell you what, if you want to get in for the Christmas #1 and whatever, you've got to go now. You've got to go early. You know, that's the way to do it. We'll see if we can make that happen. That would be wonderful. Folks, please do go and check out Marina's music. Go and download it, listen to it, and stop and actually say that you like it as well. That's the most important thing. And then turn up and go and see her at gigs in the future, because it's all going to be happening. Marina, it's been lovely to meet you. Thank you so much for coming on today. Folks, This has been My Music with me, Graham Coath. I'm going to be back later in the week with more music interviews. Whole point of these is that you get to know a little bit about the person. Once you know the person a little bit better, you'll want to know a little bit more about their music. You go and explore the fantastic music that is out there at the moment. Any one of you that say, well, there's no good music out there these days, some of the older ones that may be watching or listening, absolute rubbish. Tosh, you're just not looking in the right places. It's all there for you to find. You just need to know which stone to unturn for you to find it. Until next time, bye for now.